as lawyers, we have to foresee the worst in order to prevent the worst to happen. Are we talking about the loan agreement? Okay, we are, if it was music, it was C major, so that means fulfillment, loan agreement. Are we talking about mortgage? We are already in the unfulfillment or breach of agreement world. That's it's Do or C minor. That's different. And for us, it's very important. The valid constitution of the mortgage over the land property and the valid change if there was a right of ownership is our main concern. And that, I'm sorry, has to be clear here and everywhere. We don't know what we don't know. It sounds redundant, but it's not. We don't know if other legislations, other jurisdictions will give us the same feeling of security that the Spanish law, Spanish jurisdiction gives us. That's why if Proveco wants to join to this program, the banks, has to go deep in that direction, the direction that we don't want surprises at the end of this trust change. Because when I hear insurance and trust, being a bank, I begin to suffer. Okay? So, of course, there are commercial reasons, of course, for us to join this program. Why not? I will, if I have time, I will talk about figures, but very, very quickly. To consider wider frames, why not? Appealing to foreign customers. But everything has to be built in a very legal, safe conditions. And of course, I know it's different. Known and safe. We don't know, but maybe safe, but at the moment we don't know. Proveco knows and contemplates, and that's why I'm here. One thing is to buy, and the other thing, and it's for a lot of mortals, is to borrow money to buy. It's a different situation, different scenery. In this scenery, the bank is the third man, is the one with the money that makes the dream or the nightmare possible. Okay? So we put the money, and another one put the land, another one put the faith, whatever. But we put the money at the beginning. So if we put the money, we want to recover it, and what we want to ensure in legal terms is that the unfulfillment or the breach of the contract loan agreement by the borrower links directly to the possibility, in a very smooth and quick path, execution or closure of the mortgage. We need this security. If not, we don't play, or we are not going to play. Very, very quickly, in Spanish, in Spain, we have a very strict and clear formalities to make a mortgage to be executed, foreclosed. So, as far as these formalities can be kept in the loan agreement, wherever is the law to submit that agreement, for us is okay. So the unfulfillment or breach of the loan agreement has to lead directly to the mortgage. And for us, that means that a judge has to receive a document and a certification from a notary. If that is kept and if that is warranted, no problem for us. In this quick chain, we are the last step. And we are there if things don't work. So remember, we are in C minor tonality when we enter. That's important to keep in mind. Okay? We are not when I say it's sweet and sour, it's because when people come to ask for money, it's like this. But when it comes to mortgage to execute, it's like that. So we have to be safe in both parts of the story. Apart from that, and I know it's a very not specific issue, as far as, and I know this is not a specific issue, but I put it on the table. As far as that loan agreement submitted to another law, not Spanish law, kept the all assets clause, as you know. That means that apart from the property, the whole assets from the borrower are put in as a warranty in the contract. If that is possible or enforceable using the law, the new law of the loan agreement, and in front of the jurisdiction of the new jurisdiction of that loan agreement, no problem for us. I would say no problem, no, it's an advantage because maybe instead the first option for a Spanish bank won't be to execute the mortgage, but to go to look for other assets that the borrower has in as in the country where the jurisdiction is placed. So it's quicker to recover the money. I'm not sure that all laws allow this clause. That's why I'm saying that. So if our mortgage is in a safer harbor, that means is in a register here in Spain. And first, so I am not going to talk about all the steps before that, because we have been talking about that. As far as the mortgage is duly in the Registro Español, in the register, and as far as we have no doubt that when the worst arrives, sometimes arrive, and we have to execute the mortgage, we won't have problems, of course we can join Proveco, why not? You have different pictures in mind. Property in Spain, borrower and the bank in a member state X. Okay, both are familiar, bank and borrower, with another law, so no problem. And it's to the bank to check if the mortgage is going to be in the Spanish register and in which way the breach or fulfillment of the loan agreement ruled by one law goes directly to the execution of the mortgage, which is in the Spanish register. Property in a member state and buyer in Spain, bank in Spain, which is, I see it's not the scenery here, but I think it has to be considered. The same, that is not under what I said. It has arrived to us in the kind of situation, I have to say we don't like, and when it has to happen, you know that sometimes the banks are forced to do things and legal in-house lawyer has to put it correctly. We ask for a very accurate legal opinion in order to know how in hell are we going to execute the mortgage we have in another country, because the property is in another country. But we do sign this kind of operations. And property in Spain, buyer in another country, and bank in Spain, which is the case, and I am here. I repeat, as far as the connection is clear between the mortgage, the borrow agreement or the loan agreement under non-Spanish law and the execution of the mortgage, which has to be properly in the Spanish register, and this causes no problem to us, is okay, or would be okay. In fact, I think it has to be distinguished between foreigners and non-residents.